This month in World Hockey, we're in magnificent Madrid for the Samsung Women's World Cup. We go double Dutch with Minka Boy. India serve up a mixed bag. Are they good enough to mix with the best? And we meet Argentina's strike force. Rehan Butt has been named the new captain of Pakistan. He replaces Mohammad Saqlain, who's been left out, along with Sohail Abbas, Wazim Ahmed, Dilawar Hussain and Ghazanfar Ali for not attending the team's training camp. Mudassar Ali Khan makes a comeback. Markus Weiser is the new coach of men's world champions Germany. He replaces Bernhard Peters, who decided to retire after Mönchengladbach. Weiser has been the German women's coach since 2003 and has guided them to the Athens Olympic gold. After coaching the Kiwis men's team for the last 6 years, Kevin Towns has now been appointed as coach of the New Zealand women's team. Towns has been given a 2-year contract through to the end of 2008, a period which includes the Beijing Olympics. Our destination this month is Madrid. A great centre of culture and history, the Spanish capital is a magnificent city full of architectural marvels, art galleries and entertainment. It's a great place to visit, situated in the centre of the Iberian Peninsula. And for 2 sunny weeks in October, the city became the centre of the hockey world for one of the game's biggest events, the Samsung Women's World Cup. The 12 top teams in the world gathered at the Club de Campo for what promised to be a fabulous event. And there were a number of major contenders. Olympic champions Germany, defending champions Argentina, world number 1 Holland, Asian giants China, and the dark horses England. The teams were divided into 2 groups, with the top 2 from each pool making it through to the semi-finals. The highly rated Dutch side kicked off the tournament against the lowest ranked team in the fray, India. Most were expecting a rout, but that's not how it turned out, with the Dutch just edging their victory.
Baumann, nice variation. Sunta battling there for India, loose ball. And Sylvia Karish, who missed one about 2 minutes ago, has put it in this time. A gently looping ball in the end over the goalkeeper. Sylvia Karish makes it 2-0. Ratwinder looking for the deflection, and it gets there. Surinder was on the end of it. Well, it wasn't the deflection they'd intended, but Surinder Kaur gets India's first goal of this tournament. And again, she managed to get that hit through, gets another opportunity. Surinder!
While the Netherlands managed to hold on to victory, Spain struck a blow for the underdogs, edging out in-form Germany by a solitary goal. Day 2 featured the United States against Australia, who looked shaky in their opening day win over South Africa. The Americans were looking for their first win of the tournament, but Frank Murray's side had other ideas.
Came onto the foot, did it, of Susie Faulkner. Oh, and eventually the Americans at 6s and 7s, the ball rolled loose. Sarah Taylor says thanks very much. And the Australian number 30 gets her first goal of the tournament. And straight in. Kelly Doughton gets her second of the tournament. 2 in as many days. Hudson again on the reverse, gets the shot on goals. That is beautifully finished by Nicky Hudson.
So 3-1 there to the Aussies, and they were looking good just 2 days into the World Cup. Defending champions Argentina were the popular favourites going into the tournament, but they had to pull out all the stops against the spirited Japanese before coming away with a narrow victory.
The cut and the deflection perfectly worked, and the goal scored by Rosario Luchetti for Argentina. Margolot goes direct. Mercedes Margolot in game number 199 gets her first goal of the tournament.
The Netherlands faced a huge battle against the powerful English team, and they were pushed all the way before winning 1-0, courtesy of this typically intricate penalty corner conversion, as they kept their campaign right on track. As the tournament hotted up, Korea and Australia were involved in a thriller, with both sides trading goals. The Hockeyroos edged the game 4-3 to almost certainly assure themselves of a last four spot.
Hope Munro should run. Leisha shot on goal and does. Beautifully finished. Great outlet pass. Wonderful transfer by Wendy Beattie on the end of it. Hope Munro, and the goalkeeper Ju Lim had very little chance. Blythe on the reverse, and Madonna Blythe may have been touched by Hope Munro.
Controversy tends never to be far away when India meet England in women's hockey. This time proved to be no different.
And fabulous hit by Asunta. Well, that was loose back there by England, and on the cusp of half-time, India go a goal up with a very powerful drive by Asunta Lakra.
1-0 up at half-time, things looking good for India. But when they returned to the pitch, they found their goal had been disallowed. Their misery was compounded when a goalkeeping error allowed England to sneak into the lead. But the Asian champions fought back to earn themselves a stroke.
Straight in, and Surinder brings India level, scoring her fourth goal of this tournament. Cullen. Was there a touch? Well, there was. India again furiously protesting that there was no deflection.
This time it was England's turn to find their goal disallowed on a third umpire decision, and the teams split the points. Germany's woes continued on day 7 as they were edged out by England, courtesy of a penalty stroke.
Richardson puts it away. England go a goal up against Germany here.
Spain needed a win against India to keep alive their hopes of a surprise semi-final spot from Pool A, and they did just that, carving out a 3-2 victory. A draw against England the next day took them into the last 4. With both Australia and Argentina safely through to the last 4, their clash was important to decide the top spot in Pool B, thereby avoiding the formidable Dutch in the semi-final.
Beattie, Wendy Beattie, didn't have much time to take the shot, didn't need much time. Halliday, Walker, Munro into the goalkeeper's pads, Hudson to finish.
So the Netherlands and Spain through to the semi-finals from Group A. Australia and Argentina took the top 2 spots in Pool B. The Dutch were keen to avenge their defeat at the hands of Argentina in the last World Cup when the two sides clashed in the semis, and it turned out to be a largely one-sided affair.
Shockman onto the stick of Karras. Sylvia Karras got the touch, beat the goalkeeper. The Netherlands go a goal up. Mulder, Lammers, oh clever. Kim Lammers, beautifully worked.
Spain were without injured skipper Silvia Munoz for their semi-final tie against Australia, but they fought all the way before succumbing to a golden goal.
Skirving, it's gone in. Australia are through to the gold medal game.
Heartbreak and tears for Spain, but it had been a magnificent tournament for the hosts. In the playoffs, India earned their first win of the tournament, overcoming South Africa to claim the 11th spot. Korea finished 9th, defeating China 2-1 in a clash which assumed added significance ahead of the December Asian Games. England was 7th, beating Germany for the second time in the tournament. Japan capped a fabulous effort, finishing 5th and grabbing a spot in the next Champions Trophy in Quilmes. Argentina took the bronze, thrashing Spain 5-0.
And Hernandez gets a second. Wonderfully played by Luciana Aymar. Talk about turning defence into attack. Oh, Gulia, how good was that deflection? And how good was the hit from Claudia Burkhardt?
Celebrations then for the South Americans as they once again finished on the podium in a major tournament. Now it was all down to the big one, the final, where Australia and the Netherlands played out a fresh chapter in their long rivalry. Both teams had struck form at just the right time, and it promised to be a fitting finale to a great event.
Baumann got some power on it, put it straight in. Beat the dive of Rachel Imerson, and the Netherlands go a goal up 6 minutes into the second half. Great ball inside. Madonna Blythe just needs to beat the goalkeeper. Karen Smith. Was it on the line? Yes, it's a penalty stroke. And Minka Boy going off a nut. Was it going into the goal? That's the question. Sends Taruva the wrong way. Didn't have to put a lot of power on it. Hello. Loose ball. Mulder. Karras on her own. Gets it past Rachel Imerson, who was left stranded by her fellow defenders. Mello works way into the circle. Lammers finished. Not finished by Karras. Now she's got 2, and that should be the World Cup. Crowd counting down the clock. The Dutch girls are celebrating as well they might. Here comes the flag. That's the ball game, and the world's #1 ranked team has won the Samsung World Cup for 2006.
So the Netherlands winning the Women's World Cup for a record 7th time, cementing their reputation as the best team in the world. After the break, we meet the world's best player. And India's coach spells out his team's deficiencies. While there's no change in the men's rankings, the Netherlands extend their lead at the top of the women's rankings. Australia move up 2 places after finishing second in Madrid. Argentina slipped down a place after finishing third. Germany's poor show sees them drop to 4th, followed by China also dropping down 1. Japan's impressive 5th place helps them jump to 6th. Spain's semi-final entry moves them up to 7th. New Zealand drop 2 to 8th. Korea are down to 9th and the United States are 10th. Ranked number 1 in the world, the Dutch women were most people's favourites going into the Madrid World Cup. Judging on sheer depth of talent, not too many were arguing against them wearing the crown, but there were a few question marks over their temperament. After all, they always seemed to falter during the major events. A bronze in the 2000 Olympics and silver in the 2002 World Cup, as well as the Athens Olympics, bore testament to the fact that they seemed to lack that little bit extra when it most counted. This time, though, things turned out differently. They may have begun shakily, but by the end of the tournament, they looked streets ahead of the competition.
It was not really one key player or something. There were 16 or 18 very good players, and the individual skills of the players and the teamwork was the strongest. And we had a very good penalty corner, and the defense was the strongest of the world.
For Minke Boy, the 29-year-old Dutch captain, victory in Madrid was the pinnacle of what has been a glorious career. And adding to the joy of victory was the fact that she was named the FIH's World Player of the Year immediately after the final. But as she candidly admits, she was expecting the award to once again go to the Argentine magician Luciana Aymar.
Player of the Year 2006.
It's always nice to be only nominated. I mean, if you're considered to be one of the best players in the world, it's just such an honor. And I never ever expected to win because Aymar is such an excellent player. I think she has the best technical skills in the world. I'm not that kind of player. I'm a different kind of player. Of course, very happy that now they chose me. But it's just, yeah, it's unreal. And but it's really nice.
One of the best defenders in the world, she's never been one of the most glamorous players. But in a Dutch team packed to the brim with exciting attacking players, she performs a vital role, holding things firm at the back.
It's really important to be well organized, that you are strict and you take your responsibilities and work at your passing. It's really important, and also be fast, because if you're slow and if you're lazy, then you're not a good defender. You have to be on top of things, and even in a play when you play a lot of offense, and sometimes it gets a little dull in the defense, but then still you have to be alert and be on the top of your concentration all the time.
We use her as an example of how you tackle. And I think she's one of the best tacklers in the world, and she's also brave and desperate. But she also reads the game, and she's a very experienced player.
The next challenge for Minke Boy is January's Champions Trophy in Argentina, but her sights are now firmly set on the Beijing Olympics in 2 years' time. Coming into the World Cup as an unknown quantity, the Indian women, ranked only 13th in the world, may not have blazed a trail of glory, but the Asian champions left enough of an impression to suggest that they would be a force in times to come.
When I saw them at the Champions Trophy during the training matches, it was difficult to tell how good they are. And it turned out that they're far better than the impression I had from the Champions Trophy. Maybe it's not just it's not one of the best teams, but there is quality. There's good skill, and they're not, in a way, they don't, how do you say that? They always look for their chances.
Having lost a controversial Commonwealth Games final to India 4 years back, and then having played out another highly volatile draw in Madrid, England have had a closer look than most at India.
India is so different from any other women's international team we play, and I think a lot of people underrate India for the wrong reasons. I don't think they understand some of the history and tradition about the way that India are playing, and I think their way of playing is misunderstood, and I have high regard for India and the way they play. I think there is a contrast in styles. We can't match Indian technical skill, so we need to move the ball on.
They're unorthodox. You're not sure what they're going to do. They carry the ball so well, and they hit the ball nicely, and you can never count them out. They're always fighting.
Despite their undoubted promise, the Indians failed to translate this into victories, managing only to win their last game and avoid the wooden spoon. For coach M.K. Kaushik, a member of the 1980 Olympic gold medal winning side, their eventual placing came as a bitter disappointment.
We still have a long way to go, to be honest with you, and I think we really need to have the approach which is required for international competition. That is, like you see how the body play, they go all out in the circle, they defend very well in the circle, which again we have a lethargic approach. We allow opponent to receive the ball. The tactical mistakes, a lot of tactical mistakes we are committing. Again, this thing need a lot of video recording watching, their own performance watching, and again educating them, again the training part on the ground. So this repetition have to be there so that they understand what mistakes they are committing and how they can improve.
With an average age of just 22, India was one of the youngest teams in the World Cup. That, coupled with the fact that they've not had too much exposure to top-level international competition, meant that they were found just a bit wanting under pressure situations.
Basically, they are very skillful, but when the pressure is given to them, they don't perform well. So that pressure training is still required. They can play, they can dodge 1-2 fellows, but casual. In casual, if you leave them alone, there's no pressure, they will do it. But if there is pressure of tournament, there is pressure of to perform best that particular day, so they are not up to the mark.
Now the team's eyes are turned towards their next big challenge.
चलो वर्ल्ड कप में तो भी जो होना था अभी तो हो गया, पर हम लोग एशियन गेम की तैयारी करेंगे कि हम लोग एशियन गेम में अच्छा रिजल्ट प्राप्त करें. मुझे हम लोग पूरी मैच जो हम लोग की यहाँ कमी हुई है एशियन गेम में कोई कमी ना हो, और जो भी हम लोग कमी है हम उसको इम्प्रूवमेंट करें, और मुझे एशियन गेम में पूरी उम्मीद है कि हम ओलंपिक क्वालिफायर्स में ज़रूर करेंगे और उसमें हम लोग गोल्ड तो लेना ही लेना है एशियन गेम में.
In a side brimming with talent, Soledad Garcia is special.
Garcia could finish it here with a shot. Oh, it's a wonderful goal.
She, along with Luciana Aymar, make Argentina the world's most attractive side when in full flow. A striker with immense ability, she started young, following her elder sister round on their daily journeys to a club in Cordoba. By the age of 5, she was already showing a marked reluctance to be parted from the hockey stick.
I remember when I was a child, I always won the ball and I was playing with the ball. Always I tried to play down like a defender, just give the ball to the others and the others play and you try to be quiet. So it was impossible when I was a child because I really active, girl really active. So yeah, normally, I don't know if always I was like this, but when I play I know that it's my style.
With both parents deeply into sport, she always had a lot of family support for which she's grateful.
They always influence a lot because they follow us all the time. They went with us, with my sister and me, to any game, to any place, to any trouble we had when we were really child. So they were with us all the time, and I think that it was the most important for us because for me, in my opinion, I think when you are your parents close to you is the most important love for do something.
Early in her life, Sole faced a difficult test of character. Her father, who was also her biggest fan, passed away in an accident when she was a teenager. And that very week, she was asked to play a game that was vital to her career. It was a difficult decision, one her mother had to make.
well, it was a really hard time for me and for my family. My dad died on Monday, and we played that Saturday, and I really don't want to play. And my mom said, it's your life, it's that you want to do and you like it, so not for this you have to stop. So I went to play, and I don't know, I scored probably, I don't know if 10 times, but 3 or 4, and it was really a hard moment for my family and for me. I was really child, like 13 years old, so it was really hard, but I think he's here in any place helping me.
It's been a fulfilling career so far. Gold in the 2002 World Cup, bronze in the Athens Olympics, as well as bronze in Madrid, with plenty of spectacular strikes along the way. Now all she wants is to enjoy the game. And that's all we have for you this month. Next month we meet Spanish hockey's golden couple, men's team goalkeeper Bernardino Herrera and the women's captain Silvia Munoz.